Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Alex Cook. This video and podcast, I'm going to be talking about Chainlink again, and I'm going to be talking about decentralized finance. So I've talked about Link before on my channel, and with the new attention on crypto that we've had, this is going to be a recap on some things, but my older videos were more technical in nature a lot of the times. This is going to be more of a primer on what decentralized finance can do, and why Link could be a part of that, and why this could be really a big thing. So in order to do this, but before we talk about Chainlink, we got to understand what Ethereum is, and we got to understand what traditional banks are. So this may seem really simple, but if I ask the question, what is it that banks do? Like what is the product of banks? A lot of people would say capital. I mean, that makes sense. That's self-intuitive. I would actually disagree. I don't think the real products of the banking system is capital. Okay, that may sound strange. I think though the real product is trust. Okay, it's not capital. Anyone can provide capital. Like you can loan money to people. Like you can buy, ownership in a business. What banks do is they provide trust, so that they can be a trusted middleman, so that capital can be exchanged on a mass scale. So that is what I argue the real product of the banking system is. It's trust, not money, but it's trust. Because you have money. Well, not any one person specifically, but people have money. Institutions have money. When banks make loans, like this isn't just magic bank money. Like it is someone else's money that was a deposit, or someone that purchased a bond, bought stocks, whatever, like some sort of security that the investment bank helped issue. What banks do is they provide a trusted system. That is what the financial system does. Is it provides a system of trust for capital to be exchanged. Okay. What if we could then replace this with an immutable, uncensorable computer system that doesn't rely on government intervention? It doesn't rely on really any kind of human intervention for that matter, because people establish the parameters of this computer code, like how Ethereum works, and then they can choose to run with it or not. They don't have to opt into this platform, but if they do, they know going in how the platform is going to work. And they know this because it's out in the open. This is how Ethereum operates. These are how smart contracts operate. So you know what you're getting yourselves into. And the trust is already established by the fact that it is just a computer executing a program. The computer is not going to make any decisions that are not already programmed into it. That's just how it is. It's just a machine. The machine does what it's told. So what smart contracts are, why this is important for Ethereum, and why I'm going to get to where Chainlink fits into this, is that you can think of smart contracts as a programming language for money. So what smart contracts are is they are a self-executing legal agreement that operates on blockchain platforms like Ethereum. So what Ethereum is, and what makes it different than Bitcoin, for example, is that, yeah, you can exchange Ethereum as a sort of virtual currency, but what it does is it's kind of like a large-scale decentralized computer. Like when you're buying Ethereum, you are buying a piece of this worldwide computer that applications can run on. And one of these applications are smart contracts, these self-executing agreements. What you could do is chain together series of these smart contracts. You could program them together to, in theory, really replicate any kind of financial instrument. And I do mean any kind of financial instrument, whether it's something esoteric like some kind of complex derivative, or even just simple loans. Now, some of this technology is still going to be some time away. Some of it is still being built out. I would just remind you that the first video game, like the very first video game, wasn't Call of Duty Warzone. Okay, we used to have really simple video games, and then they got better, and now you have Call of Duty, now you have Cyberpunk, you have, like crazy graphics, but these things take time. So I think in 2017, things got a little carried away with expectations. So these smart contracts, they're a programming language for money. That's a bit of an oversimplification of what it is, but I think that could tell you the potential that this could have, where people could put their trust in a computerized system where It's not going to defraud you. It's not going to do anything you don't want it to do because it is a system that just executes what it is told. And it runs on the blockchain, meaning so everything is out and transparent because people can go onto the blockchain and see what's going on. That's part of it. It gives you transparency, which regulators have been begging for this for a long time when it comes to the swap market. So there is a measure of transparency to this, and arguably perhaps more so than the current financial system. Okay, so because of all this, Chainlink could be a big player in the space. So going to the smart contracts, they rely on good data to trigger them. So an easy way to explain this, I like to use the analogy of sports betting. So let's say I'm betting on the North Carolina Tar Heels to win a basketball game, or I'm betting on a UFC fight. You could, in theory, have a smart contract that pays out depending on the result of this game. To make this happen, the smart contract, because again, it's just some computer code, it needs reliable data on if, which team won the game, which candidate won an election, if we're betting on politics, something like that. The risk you have is that a bad actor could input bad data into the system, or even just unintentionally. Someone fat-fingered something, they just typed in the wrong number. But the problem is now, with that bad data, the smart contract is going to execute no matter what. Remember, this is an immutable system. Okay, it is immutable. Once it triggers, it is done. Now, that's part of the advantage because it means that it'll be harder for corrupt authoritarian governments to defraud their citizens' money. So that, in this case, the flaw is actually a feature. The bug is a feature. But to address the issue of data, this is where Chainlink comes into play. So Chainlink is a network that validates the data that goes into these smart contracts. So you can kind of think of Ethereum as the hardware to this decentralized computer system that the financial industry could maybe move to or potentially be replaced by. Chainlink is, in a way, you could say it's like the operating system. It is what makes this hardware useful so that the applications, the programs, could run effectively. So I want to talk about some of the short-term thinking that we've seen in crypto with a lot of these traders and why, I've been talking about Link for quite some time. Nothing I'm saying is a secret. You can go back to see some of my old videos on Chainlink and do the math of what the price was then compared to what the price is now. We got to get away from short-term thinking. A lot of this is retail money and they're chasing a quick buck. So avoid short-term thinking. People were buying Dogecoin literally just because Elon Musk told them to. That's their level of analysis. By the way, this video, as always, is not investment advice. It's informational purposes only. You got to figure out for yourself what's suitable for you or not. Look, I did well with Link because I could connect the dots on a long-term vision for it. And I'm trying to get you guys to think along those lines instead of just, hey, how can I get a quick buck? That is not what investing is meant to be. I saw Chainlink and I saw decentralized finance as something that could have a big impact by potentially automating a lot of what financial services is trying to do right now. So when you go in a crypto investment or any kind of investment, try to think, what could be the long-term impact of this? Could this displace a lot of institutions that we currently see? With Link, I'd say, yeah, potentially. Again, nothing's guaranteed, but I think potentially. Could you say that about some of these other weirder cryptos that you're buying it just because some dude on Twitter is telling you to? Okay. One last thing I want to close with. I made some provocative statements here that Chainlink potentially and Ethereum, this whole concept of decentralized finance runs on the blockchain could replace a lot of financial services. What kind of got me thinking along these lines is way before I got in blockchain. There's a story I told it once, but I'll tell it again. I remember, I'm not going to say what hedge fund it is, but I was talking to a hedge fund analyst. I was telling him, I'm not really a fan of JCPenney. Spoiler, JCPenney went bankrupt. He goes, no, JCPenney's going to do great. I'm like, okay. I'm open to other ideas. I'm curious why you disagree, why you think JCPenney's going to do good. He goes, well, because the Fed is cutting interest rates, so people are going to spend more. I'm like, okay. I know what the theory is, but that's not necessarily how it's going to happen in the real world. And even if it does, that doesn't mean they're going to go buy stuff at JCPenney. He goes, no, the Fed is buying bonds, so JCPenney's going to do good. I'm like, you do realize they don't have a business plan. They're not Walmart, meaning low quality but low price. They're not Nordstrom, high quality, high price. They don't even know what they're doing strategy-wise. Yeah, but the Fed, they're buying bonds. And this is when I decided, you know what, I'm just going to kind of smile nod and just do what I'm going to do anyways, because this conversation is going fast, going nowhere fast. So can't win them all. Some people just kind of nod. Just do one of these and just go about your business. No sense arguing with strangers. So if you enjoyed this, hit subscribe. YouTube, Spotify. Going to try to get on some other platforms. Check out my discussion group, but on Telegram, link below. Want to make this video to kind of recap what is decentralized finance, why Link could have potential for this, and kind of the long-term impact that this could have. Because, again, I would argue the real product of financial services, it's not capital. It's not money, which sounds strange because that's what you think they do. But no, their real product is trust. Because banks don't, like, if you really think about it, banks don't have money. Banks have someone else's money. They are just a trusted middleman to get it from point A to point B. Well, with DeFi, who knows? Maybe you won't necessarily need this anymore. I don't know, but I am very curious to see where this rabbit hole goes. So thanks for checking this video out or podcast, however you listen to it. Let me know what you think. I'm out.